Hello students, once again today I will teach you rules for all the sections of class 12. Here you will study lesson number 4, the homecoming. As I taught you yesterday, previous few paragraphs related just the chapter. As I taught you how Chakravarti's family much annoyed and two real brothers were fighting to each other. Makhan Chakravarti and Phatik Chakravarti. When Makhan Chakravarti reached his home, he complained his mother about his elder brother Phatik Chakravarti, how he hit him. Certainly, his mother was very angry. When Phatik returned to home, ultimately his mother hit him and tried to expel him out of her home. Meanwhile, her brother came and they tried to discuss to each other. Now what happened thereafter, we will see through the chapter. Today you will see from here, but when he Appu has lost his mother. Approximate 4 or 5 paragraphs you will read. To say, it was just at a critical juncture that the grey-haired stranger arrived. That grey-haired stranger was his maternal uncle, means his mother's brother. He asked what the matter was. Phatik looked suspicious and ashamed. Now, just the stranger asked him the matter. So Phatik felt ashamed that time. But when his mother stepped back and looked at the stranger, her anger was changed to surprise. Now Phatik's mother looked back and she was very much surprised to see his brother. For he recognized her brother because she has recognized her brother and cried, "Why, Dada, where have you come from?" So in Bengal, people call elder brother, Dada. So she also addressed him, "Dada, where have you come from?" So from where you come here? As he said these words, he bowed to the ground and touched his feet. Her brother had gone away soon after she had married and he had started business in Bombay. So that was the period or time how her brother left her. Her brother went to Bombay and there he started his own business. His sister had lost her husband while he was in Bombay. So when he was in Bombay, he was doing his business in Bombay. Meantime, he lost his sister. Bisambar had now come back to Calcutta. This is the name of her brother Bisambar. So he had now come back to Calcutta and had at once made inquiries about his sister. So when he returned back to Calcutta, So he asked about his sister. He had then hastened to see her as soon as he found out where she was. And when he knew her address, ultimately he reached her home. The next few days were full of rejoicing. The brother asked after the execution of the two boys. He was told by his sister that Phatik was a perpetual resident. So, from the next day, his maternal uncle, Phatik's maternal uncle, also stayed there with his mother, and now they were rejoicing, they were entertaining, they were enjoying. He also asked about the boys, Phatik's as well as Makhan. He was told by his sister that Phatik was perpetual nuisance. Phatik was naughty, as his sister told him. He was lazy, disobedient and wild. So all about only for her elder brother Phatik. But Makhan was as good as gold, as quiet as lamb, and as fond of reading, and very fond of reading. Now she was praising Makhan, that Makhan was very good boy, and he was just quiet as a lamb, and he always trying to read his books. Bishambar kindly offered to take Phatik off his sister's hand and educate him with his own children in Calcutta. So Bishambar wanted to take Phatik to his home, Calcutta, and he wanted to give his education at his own home with his own children. The widowed mother readily agreed. So as Bishambar's sister, it means Phatik's mother was agreed because she wanted to like the same thing. When his uncle asked Phatik if he would like to go to Calcutta with him, his joy knew no bounds, and he said, "Oh yes, uncle," in a way that made it very clear that he meant it. Now Phatik was also very much excited to go to Calcutta. He wanted to go there because it was a new city and big city for Phatik. It was an immense relief to the mother to get rid of Phatik. So it was very much sigh of relief for his mother. He wanted to get rid of Phatik. She had prejudice against the boy, and no love was lost between the two brothers, as she knew that there is no love between both brothers. She was in daily fear that he would either drown Makhan someday in the river, or break his head in a fight, or run him into some danger or other. So as Makhan's mother always realized that someday in the future, his elder brother would hurt him, either hurt him or drown him in the river. At the same time, she was somewhat distressed to see Phatik's extreme eagerness to get away. So in the same time, if his brother Bishambar wanted to take him away, so she was very much happy that time. And Phatik was also very much eager to go from the same place. Phatik, as soon as all was settled, kept asking his uncle every minute when they were to start. He was on pins and needles all day long with excitement and lay awake most of the night. He bequeathed to Makhan in perpetuity his fishing rod, his big kite and his marbles. Indeed, at this time of departure, his generosity towards Makhan was unbounded. So it was, as I told you earlier, it was very much curious for Phatik, and he wanted to go from the same place as soon as possible. So each and every minute he asked his uncle when we will start from here for Calcutta. But ultimately, meantime, as he knew that he would go to Calcutta, the love between his brother and him became much more increased. He gave all those playthings, just like marbles, fishing rods and other things, to his younger brother Makhan. When they reached Calcutta, Phatik made the acquaintance of his aunt. For the first time, she was by no means pleased with this unnecessarily addition to her family. Now they means December and Phatik reached Calcutta, where he met his aunt first time. Phatik met his aunt first time. She was by means pleased with this unnecessary addition to his family. So his aunt was not very happy. She did not want anybody else in her home. In addition, she found her own 3 boys quite enough to manage without taking anyone else. So there were 3 other boys just related to her. So she did not like any more in her house. And to bring a village lad of 14 into their midst of terribly upsetting. So this was also very much disturbed condition for her, because the lad was 14 years old. That lad was 14 years old. December should really have thought twice before committing such an indiscretions. So his aunt also very much puzzled, and she thought why December took him here in Calcutta. In this world of human affairs, there is no worse nuisance than a boy at the age of 14. Now this is a very crucial age for each and every boy in the same age, at the age of 14. He is neither ornamental nor useful. It is impossible to shower affection on him as on a little boy. So that is just changeable condition. That is a changeable condition for each and every boy at the age of 14. And he is always getting in the way. If he talks with a childish lips, he is called a baby. And if he answers in a grown-up way, he is called impertinent. Means the boy at the age of 14 always struggling in the middle of his age. He can neither do this side nor that side. In fact, any talk at all from him is resented. Then he is at the unattractive growing age. So it was also Phatik's growing age. He grew out of his cloth with indecent haste. His voice grows hoarse and breath and clear. So all these things are just suddenly always changeable things. Sounds always change the meantime. His face grows suddenly angular and unsightly. It is easy to excuse the shortcomings of early childhood, but it is hard to tolerate even unavoidable lapse in a boy of 14. So anybody can understand the same situation at the age of 14. The lad himself becomes painfully self-conscious. In the meantime, when he talks with elderly people, he is either unduly forward or else so unduly shy that he appears ashamed of his very existence. So all these things are very crucial things for the lad. Yet it is at this very age when in his heart of hearts a young lad must crave for recognition and love. That is another matter. Each and everybody just in the age of 14 always wanted such a type of love and affections from other, and he becomes a devoted slave of anyone who shows him consideration. But none dare openly love him. So nobody would like to love him, for that would be regarded as undue indulgence and therefore bad for him. Wise. It is also just bad circumstances for any boy. So what with scolding and chiding he becomes very much like a stray dog that he lost his master. So it is just like the stray dog that who lost his master. That is the same situation here for the lad who left his home, who left his mother, who left his brother, and just raised in Calcutta. So, dear students, once again I would like to brief you in Hindi also. So, see, just कल हमने आपको इसके बारे में बताया था कि किस तरह से फटिक चक्रवर्ती और उसका छोटा भाई माखन चक्रवर्ती दोनों आपस में प्रायः लड़ा करते थे। किसी न किसी बात पर दोनों में आपस में लड़ाई या झगड़ा हुआ करता था। इसी तरह से जिस घटना का जिक्र कल हमने आपको बताया था कि वह कुछ शरारतें करना चाहता था, लेकिन उसका छोटा भाई वहाँ पहुँच करके उसको रोकने लगा, तो उसने उसे कीचड़ में ढकेल दिया। इस स्थिति में छोटे भाई ने बड़े भाई को उसका मुंह नोच लिया और रोते हुए चीखते हुए घर आया। घर आने पर उसकी माँ ने जब उससे पूछा तो उसने बताया कि मुझे फटिक ने मारा है। ऐसी स्थितियों में उसकी माँ ने उसे बुलाया और फटिक को उसने डांटना और मारना प्रारंभ किया, लेकिन उसी समय वह अपनी माँ को भी ढकेल करके कहा कि मैंने ऐसा कुछ नहीं किया। तभी एक अजनबी वहाँ पर उसके घर पहुँचता है। वह अजनबी और कोई नहीं बल्कि उसका मामा था, यानी उसकी माँ का भाई था, जो किसी बिजनेस के सिलसिले में बॉम्बे गया, कलकत्ता छोड़कर बॉम्बे गया था और बॉम्बे जाकर के वहाँ पर बस गया था। किंतु बहुत समय पश्चात वह बॉम्बे से उठकर वापस कलकत्ता आता है और कलकत्ता आकर के वह अपनी बहन को के बारे में जानकारी प्राप्त करना चाहता है। जैसे ही उसे पता चलता है कि वह कहाँ रहती है, वह उससे मिलने उसके गांव चला आता है। तो ठीक उसी समय जब वो वहाँ पहुँचता है तो वहाँ पर इस तरह से माँ बेटे में बहस और झगड़े को सुनता है, और जब वह जानकारी प्राप्त करना चाहता है कि क्या हुआ तो वह फटिक थोड़ा लज्जित होता है और फिर जब उसकी माँ पलट कर पीछे देखती है तो उसे कहती है कि अरे दादा यानी भाई तुम यहाँ कैसे आ गए। और इस तरह से दोनों में आपस में बातें होने लगती हैं कि किस तरह से वह बॉम्बे से फिर कलकत्ता आया और कलकत्ता से उससे मिलने यहाँ चला गया। बच्चों, इसके बाद फिर कुछ दिन तो यूँ ही बीत गए, उनके साथ मामा भांजे और उनकी मम्मी सब एक साथ अपना आपस में बैठ करके बातें करते, आनंद करते। लेकिन फिर जब उसे जानकारी हुआ, उसके मामा दिसंबर को जानकारी हुआ कि यहाँ पर इस तरह की दिक्कतें हैं, तो वह अपनी बहन से कहता है कि मुझे अपने बड़े भाई को मेरे साथ जाने दीजिए, मुझे अपने बड़े बेटे को मेरे साथ जाने दीजिए। और ऐसी सिचुएशन में जब वह चाहती भी थी कि किसी तरह से दोनों आपस में दूर हो जाएं ताकि इनमें इस तरह से झगड़े होते हैं, उसकी माँ को भी डर था कि कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि उसे किसी नदी में ढकेल कर डुबो दे या कभी किसी दिन ऐसी मार दे कि वह मर ही जाए। तो इन सब डर की वजह से वह भी चाहती थी कि किसी तरह से उसका बड़ा बेटा फटिक कलकत्ता चला जाए। और जब उसके भाई ने ऑफ़र किया तो वह सहज तैयार हो गई। फटिक अपने मामा के साथ जब कलकत्ता पहुंच गया तो वहां पहुंचते ही उसने अपनी मामी को पहली बार देखा, जो कि उसकी मामी की अंदर भी इस तरह की भावनाएं थी कि इसे यहाँ नहीं आना चाहिए था। वह पहले से ही अपने 3 बच्चों के साथ थी, उसे लगता था कि ये अतिरिक्त बोझ मेरे ऊपर आ पड़ा है, अतः वह भी उसे ठीक से नहीं उसके साथ बर्ताव करती थी। यह जो फटिक की उम्र थी, 14 वर्ष की उम्र की स्थितियाँ कुछ विचित्र होती हैं। वह न तो इधर की सोच पाता है न उधर की सोच पाता है। शारीरिक और मानसिक दोनों ही तरह के विकास होते हैं, और ऐसी स्थितियों में कभी पतली आवाज़ तो कभी मोटी आवाज़ गले से निकलती है। कभी बच्चा ग्रोन अप स्टेज में आ जाता है तो कभी वह बच्चे के ही रूप में बिहेव करने लगता है। यह सारी के सारे सिचुएशन जो है बड़े क्रिटिकल सिचुएशन होते हैं, बड़े टफ सिचुएशन होते हैं। यह उस 14 साल के बच्चे के लिए झेल पाना मुश्किल होता है, और यह तब और अधिक बढ़ जाता है जब वह बच्चा अपने घर को छोड़ करके, अपने माँ और परिवार को छोड़ करके किसी अजनबी परिवार में चला जाता है, जहाँ पर वहाँ के लोग भी उसे पसंद नहीं करते, तो यह कष्ट और भी डबल हो जाता है, दुगना हो जाता है। लेखक महोदय के अनुसार यह ठीक उसी प्रकार से होता है जैसे कोई आवारा कुत्ता अपने मालिक का साथ छूट जाए तो वह बाहर निकल करके भागता है और उसे लोग परेशान करते हैं। तो इस तरह से आज सेकेंड पार्ट आपका ये एंड हुआ, एंड आई होप ऑल ऑफ यू विल explain the paragraph with reference to context, and I will meet you the next day for the third part. Thank you.